Welcome to Swords for the Men. I'm your host, Sean Joyce. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Well, exactly. How are you, my good buddy?
I'm doing well, my friend.
Little coming out of the dark side there?
A little bit dark around. That's all right somehow.
Damn right. Well, we missed last week's show. That's our fault, so we're going to cover the last 2 weeks for you. So we're going to start back last Saturday night when the Sabres proved that they have a little more cojones than their friends up in Boston. Down 4-1 last Saturday. The Sabres came back and won 5-4 in overtime, defeating the Boston Bruins in Boston on a Ryan O'Reilly goal. How was that comeback for you, Josh?
That was a hell of a win, dude. That was actually one of the...
Are you going to keep it on the whole time?
Huh?
They probably can't hear you. Well, it was...
All right.
You know, I got back from my game and I put it on and I caught the third period and I watched the whole rest of it later. But to come back and turn it on, we were down 4-3. I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. I didn't think they pulled it together.
Yeah,
I think they pulled it out.
Honestly, I didn't think that it was going to end up happening until I watched a little later on in the game. It was actually one of the games I got to watch in full this time, and it impressed me with how they performed in the third period.
It's always nice to see Jack come back to Boston.
Yeah.
I get that feel when Jack comes back to Boston.
At least scores one time when he visits back in Boston.
I get that feel like when Gronk comes here and scores a touchdown, you're just like, how could you do this to us? Mm-hmm. When Jack scores in Boston, it's just like, right back at you, baby. Mm-hmm. Thank you. You gave us Gronk, you gave us Jack, you gave Gronk. Hopefully it'll even out one day.
Hopefully.
Sabres were down 4-1 at one point, came back from goals from Eichel, from Pominville. Everybody's scoring.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's actually one of the times that, that's a game we could go back and look at and realize that that's how we should be playing in our games. And not the way that they had to come back, but the way that they did come back and the way that they showed how they can score with all their players that they have. They used their tools. They didn't just use one player. They used everyone scored. They got a chance to score.
I think that's what they needed was a comeback from last Saturday, the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
And because the offense we haven't been able to point the finger at. Well, the third and fourth line, not as much production, but we can't really complain about the top six right now. 3 are tied for 12 points. So I can't complain about the first two lines at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that secondary scoring's got to hop up. But if we make our goal to outscore teams at this point, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
No.
Because the D is coming along.
It's actually one of the good things.
I pray that we can work on defense more as the year goes on. Right now it's just like, all right, let's try to outscore everybody because the back end's a little scary right now. Mm-hmm. But what did you take away from Boston?
Well, I guess we're a little far away now, but I'm gonna say, before I was hoping that would honestly be a win that would help us carry on into the next few games, and we haven't gotten to the next few games yet, but we will be soon.
The momentum, and we did have it. And I think we came back home on Tuesday night against the Red Wings with that.
Yeah.
On our backs.
Oh, and we got the shutout. That's right. That was honestly
the best defensive effort you've seen.
That was a great defensive game. On the offensive side, yeah, you got one out to sneak the win out, and also shout out to Robin Leonard for that shutout.
Back-to-back games, different kind of encouragement. In Boston, it was that our offenses can bring us back. Mm-hmm. At home, a couple nights later against the Red Wings, it was that our D and our goalie, when they played the system right, and the Wings have been struggling. Yeah. But it's like, you know what, they played that game well. Mm-hmm. And they did what they had to do. And it's nice getting some scoring from the third line. Benoit Pouliot put in the only goal tonight.
The lone goal, only goal of the night.
But those two games put in that momentum. I had nothing to complain about. Did you take anything away from the other night?
The
Tuesday night against the Red Wings?
The Red Wings game. Of course, when you're watching a hockey game and you go through all 3 periods, you would love to see more than 1 goal scored, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
A win is a win. I'll take the 1-0. It helped us. But I think I'll give that game a solid B. The defense outperformed than the offense did.
A win's a win's a win's a win.
Yeah.
We'll take it. Both games were so good. They were so exciting. They were so fun. And then to get to Columbus
and
Wednesday night.
Bad game.
Well, I turned the game on. The announcers said that Columbus had days off.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had plenty of days off at home. And I'm not gonna just kill it. The Sabres lost 5-1 on last Wednesday night to Blue Jackets at home. Columbus was at home. But Sergei Bobrovsky, Bob, maybe the best goalie in hockey, Bob took away like 3 chances to score in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Single-handedly. D played well. Columbus, we know how good Columbus is. But we could have put more goals in. But Chad Johnson, the D, did get beat up.
They got out.
And when they scored those 3 goals within, I think, about 3 minutes, they scored 2 in a minute. The mo they could get.
That's just purely getting outperformed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any other word to describe it. That's just a game that they gotta look back on and point their mistakes out and go back and get better on it.
It was nice seeing Line 4 get, I believe, their first goal of the year. Seth Griffith put it home from Jordan Nolan and Johan Larsson.
Yeah, it's good seeing them.
4th line.
It's good seeing, like deep in the line and all that, the deep depth. It's good seeing them score because those are the guys that you want to make sure can still produce when nobody's there, and you got to put them on another line. So.
Damn right. Good. So that was a bummer. Coming back down to reality, but Sabres return home Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. I do not like these afternoon games, if you can tell by the tone of my voice, Josh. I think Terry likes to be in bed before 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ass when it comes to this. I don't like the day games on the weekends. I like night games. I like prime time. That's just my feel, even when I was a child. What do you think about most of our Saturday or Sunday games going into the afternoon?
I don't really like afternoon games. I think it's way too early on. Your crowd is not nearly as awake as you have them at nighttime. Everyone's running. Everyone's already wide awake and still running by the time the night games start. So when everyone's pumped and ready for those late games, they know what to expect. But when you go to an early game, you're not really going to have a bigger crowd. Those are actually the less attended games usually. But
I have to argue on that.
Really?
I think it evens out because the thought process there is let's have the kids come in. And I understand that, but I think you're taking away from your nighttime audience. I don't like it. I don't like having to, watch a game in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it was an entertaining game nonetheless. Sabres lost 3-2 at the end of regulation.
Yeah.
That was the most frustrating part.
Yeah.
They played so well, they had the 2-1 lead, they blew the lead, and then they blew the game with 3 minutes left. What do you think?
They played pretty up to pace with the Sharks, honestly. It's always that third period push that you gotta give. The other team can come more prepared than the Sabres. Sabres just gotta know when to match up with their opponent. And the third period is always the most crucial one because that's when you're pushing for another goal to tie the game up. That's when you're trying to defend your lead. That's when you're.
Sabres got screwed on a couple times. Sam Reinhart's interference when he was pushed in, that should have been a goal. I think they hit the post about twice in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They had it. I really felt like they had it. Jack Eichel snapped his stick over his leg.
He was not happy.
That's good. because they were in it and they had that game and they blew it. But it's those games that you blow that are this close. Those are the ones you learn from, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the whole season at this point has been a learning experience. We said since day one it wouldn't be a good start. It'd be a learning start. It'd be a growing start. Still 10 new guys on this team learning to play together, especially on D. And, you know, the injuries aren't helping. And speaking of injuries, we're going to get into that after the break. We're back on the show here, and there's one thing we're definitely going to go into. It's injuries.
Get the thing wrong.
All the positive we said about the D, and now everyone's getting hurt. Isn't that great? Nate Beaulieu fell down. Josh Georges fell down. Ogo's been on and off. What do you think about all this injury?
I think when you have injuries on defense, that hurts a little bit, you know.
It gives opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Matt Tennyson, who's been struggling very badly, in my opinion, has been able to step up and play with more time, which is good for him.
Mm-hmm.
He needed it. Zach Redmond, never heard of him. We got him from Colorado. He's played 2 games. Hasn't played that well, in my opinion, so far. We need him as healthy as possible, wouldn't you say, especially our defense, considering this
I would say
situation.
so, especially when defense is the part that's supposed to that helps you win the game majority of the time is when you have a better defense.
And Marco Scandella comes back, and then someone drops. It's like, we can't really win right now. And Nate Beaulieu, who is our second best offensive defenseman, it hasn't been coming from the back end.
Mm-hmm.
I know this has to be very frustrating for Housley, being his forte, wouldn't you say?
I think so, because that's his biggest strategy is he's more of a defensive minded coach.
Mm-hmm.
So out of anything, that's his arch nemesis is having a bad defense. I'm sure he would not like to have a bad defense.
It's got to be frustrating, but at least the guys watching the film and they're able to pick out their mistakes. We're starting to see the unit tighten. It isn't like the first 6 games, thank God. On the run over the last 4 games, went 2-2. Robin Lehner definitely played well. I think he played well enough to start completely outright. Chad Johnson got destroyed in Columbus, I feel like. He let those by.
He got dusted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say. But that's just the term that I can describe for him, honestly.
Do you think Robin has grabbed his starting job back? Like, they're not playing 50-50 now?
I think that they're going to stretch Robin as far as he can go, as in games-wise.
As they should.
And he could probably, how many games do you think he could bust out?
Robin should play 50 at least, if not 55. And I'd see Chad getting 25 to 28, whatever.
It's a fair split. And especially for backup goalie-wise, because it gives him more than enough to prove himself.
It's crazy to see that. Jonathan's only led 21 this year, and Robin's led 19. So he's right behind him. He's played 2 less games. They're about even, in my opinion, even though the goals against is 2.78 for Robin and 4.07 for Chad.
Yeah,
But,
the times that Chad's been in, though, it's been higher scoring games.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger difference. It's not. That's one thing that I think doesn't really necessarily affect him that much because he's if you're put in a position where you're getting scored on a lot more than the starting goalie is, then it's not always your fault.
It's not.
But
he knew he was going
tough though.
Columbus.
Sometimes you guys still try and perform your best no matter what. So
I think Robin's taking over to 1 again, which is good because he should be, and he's getting paid that money, and he's in his contract here. He's got something got to happen. He's got to step up.
he needs to start playing more fierce. He's got that beast mentality out in a goalie.
You don't want to tell the Swedish to get fierce, especially him. He's gonna run through a wall.
I think that's when he plays his best. Plays his best when he gets angry.
Vadim Shipachyov, Vegas sensation, KHL All-Star, one of the top scorers in the league last year.
Yeah.
Is done with the 8-1 first place Vegas Golden Knights. It didn't work. What do you think?
Just goes to show that he's got a passion for that sport more than the team. Because he wants to play, but Just
They're doing too well. Their players are stepping in, and he's just not getting an opportunity.
wants to go shine elsewhere. That's his opinion, then that's his opinion. You can't stop a player from always staying at a team where they're not comfortable at.
You know what sucks? They gave him 2 years, $9 million. So he's getting 4.5 a year, and he's not performing that well. And it's like you're taking on that risk if you trade for him.
Now on the money aspect of this, on that side of that, I think that he should play that smart and he should stick around, and he could sit on it for a little while.
He could have.
If he really doesn't care that much about the money, then he can go elsewhere and do what he chooses to do.
Well, they cut Vadim, and he's heading back to Russia, I guess. So it'll work that they get his rights for the next 2 years. Well, they have his rights, period.
Yeah.
It's just it's too confusing now. Because he can go back to KHL, which is great for him because he wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't be traded in the NHL now because no one wants to pick up that money.
Yeah.
I think it's a crappy situation because I would have loved to see him go somewhere and get an opportunity.
For sure.
And it's like,
And he could have even gone to a team that's not performing nearly as good and perform well.
You think the Coyotes don't need him?
I think someone would
You
most
kidding
definitely
me?
need
Think
him.
the Rangers don't need him in a slump right now? It's just like he's screwed. And that's a lot of money to take on for a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the whole situation. And he didn't report to Chicago. He said, I'm not doing it. I'm not happening. He went back to KHL. And it looks like they mended their fence as much as they could.
Yeah.
But just a bummer about, how Russian KHL works right now with a player coming over.
Yeah.
So we wish him the best of luck.
Wish him the best of luck. We'll see what his future has.
A little bit around the league, though. Thursday night, of course, as you see, I'm playing dress-up tonight with my Doug Flutie jersey on the hockey show. But the Buffalo Bills head to the New York Jets on Thursday night to play primetime 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
And at halftime, you can flip over to MSG and catch the Sabres at Phoenix playing the Coyotes on Thursday night. We got double-header Buffalo on Thursday night. You excited, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. I love when that happens. It's not the first time that it's happened.
Get the Sabres Bills.
And actually, you want to know what? The last time the Sabres and the Bills played on the same night, they both won.
Thursday night, New York 2 years ago. You're right. So pray to God they can win Thursday night because we're headed to the Coyotes, the worst team in the NHL, who still don't have a win yet.
Mm-hmm.
You think we can get it? Hopefully Thursday night.
I think that we can most definitely pull.
If we don't beat the Coyotes Thursday night, I don't care. In Phoenix, there's a problem.
Yeah.
I'll be upset.
I think our players most definitely have the power to outperform the Coyotes.
We hope. Saturday night, we kind of stay on a Western road trip, even a mini Western road trip. We're going to Dallas at 8 p.m. on Saturday night. Stars been playing well. New goalie Ben Bishop. Hopefully we can pull it out of Dallas.
But I love, you know what? I think that's going to be a little bit of a tough matchup. Ben Bishop's a great goalie. I loved it when he was on the Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched much of him on the Stars, but I wish the best of luck to him though, because I like him. I rooted for him when he was in the playoffs on the Lightning. So we'll see.
Teams have started to play their backups against us. We're probably going to see Kerry Lightning on Saturday.
Yeah.
Hey,
unrelatable. A little bit.
No, you know. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say a little non-relatable, but my dad will actually be at that game, so he said look for him in the crowd because it's an away game in Dallas.
Papa is a Buffalonian, just so you guys know. He is a diehard.
He called me today talking about the Bills and the Sabres. He said he's going to the game.
They better play well. Hey, hopefully they put Kerry London in there, because then maybe we'll have an opportunity to win Saturday night.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Look at that. We only got 2 games to cover this week. From Saturday, 2 days ago, to Thursday. They're getting a 5-day break. So hopefully the injuries...
Finally, I'd say it's about time. The league can catch up to us because we've actually played the most games.
At 5 days going into Phoenix, pray to God we're feeling better. I'd like to see you get back on the ice. Let's see Georges get back. I want to see everybody get back on the ice and healthy.
We need everyone back on the ice and healthy. Because a healthy team is always the best team.
And a happy team. So next week we cover those 2 games, Coyotes and the Stars, and see how they did. And unfortunately we're going to leave on this note. It's a bummer, but it is the truth. Right now we are in 7th place in the Atlantic Division, 8 points in 12 games. But, Josh, I know you can at least elaborate on this, that in last place is the Montreal Canadiens with 7 points. Are you?
Yep, and that's one of the best things to look back at.
It's a shocker. It's just, I don't know what's going on in Montreal. I don't right now, but Jonathan Drouin's probably not handling it well that they said he wouldn't handle it well.
No, they're not performing that great right now.
Yeah, it's just the Lightning, first place, 19 points, 9-2-1 record. Stamkos, fire. It's just, we saw that coming. We knew they'd bounce back.
Yeah, Stamkos is a monster.
Right now the playoffs, yeah, we said that word already. Lightning, Sens, and Leafs are in the first 3. Devils, Penguins, Blue Jackets in the first 3 in the Metro. Islanders, Flyers in the first 2 wild cards. Flyers are the last wild card with 12 points. The Sabres with 8. So technically we're only 4 points out of the playoffs. So I guess we will leave on a positive for our Halloween show.
We'll catch up on those points.
We have time, and I'm gonna leave on this. There's no damn excuse that you don't beat the Coyotes on Thursday. I want 3 points this week, Thursday and Saturday night. If we go to overtime with the Stars and get a point, that'd be fine. But it's time because next week is not a cakewalk. Next week is we're going to Washington's coming here. It's always a big occasion when Ovi comes to town. And then then the Panthers come here. Panthers playing very well. Then we go to Montreal, and the Canadians are starting to realize we got to kick it into gear. It does not get easy coming up.
Mm-mm.
So these next 2 games are winnable.
Better get your gear on, suit up, boys, because you got to be ready.
And leaving the Western Conference, Coyotes, I'm sorry, they did get a first win the other night, so good for them.
Oh, good.
But 110-1
That's still not good enough. Hopefully we beat the shit out of them.
The Stars haven't started that well. At 12 points, 11 games, that's okay. They're average. I think we can pick up 4 points. Hopefully we do. We'll find out for next week. We'll see. Swords for the Men here, Red Room of Doom. I'm your host, Sean Joyce, coming at you. Make sure to like down there. Make sure to subscribe over there. Make sure to give us your comments down there. Give us your opinions, please. We'd love to hear them.
Hit the like button, subscribe. No dislikes, please. We don't like people that
Well, I mean, if you don't like something, let us know.
Yeah, we're willing for any feedback.
We'll fix it up for you. But how could you not like this pumpkin on the whole? Right, Josh? Good night, everybody. Have a good one. Go Sabres.
Go Sabres.